All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Village of Mamaroneck Board of Architectural Review meeting of June 7th, 2022. Obviously, this is a virtual meeting and not an in-person meeting following the directives from the governor. And therefore, we have to make some accommodations for that. Most notably, we're on Zoom. So hope when you all are, when we call on you all to submit your applications, please be ready to do so and be ready to share your screen so that we can see your drawings and talk about them, and we don't have to waste a lot of time, waiting for you to try to figure out how to do it. Also, I'd ask that if there's more than one party to the application present, please all of you sign on, even if you're not going to say anything. So that if anything comes up and you do want to say something, again, we don't have to try to figure out how to get you on and even maybe not be able to identify that you want to get on and just again to keep the process moving, please. With that said, let me introduce the board members. We have the full board here today, so there should be no quorum issues. We have Cindy Lee, Andrew Wolowitz, wave your hands, Yvonne Levin, and Larry Cohen, and myself, William Binzer. And let's see. If there's any other audience members who have questions or comments, I'll try to remember at the end of each application to call on you, and other board members may remind me if I forget. But if everybody forgets, please do try to make yourself known and raise your hand or indicate in chat that you have something to say, a comment or question, and we'll certainly entertain that. Okay, I think with that going, we can get started. So with that, let's the first order of business is the approval of the minutes from the previous meeting on May 19th. Have you all had a opportunity to review the minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. In that case, I think we can waive a reading of the minutes and
I'll make
proceed.
a motion to
Okay.
approve.
Second the motion to waive the, are you motioning to vote on them? Or-
I'm motioning to vote on them.
Okay, okay, he's motioning to vote on them, and can somebody second that, please?
I think,
All right, all in favor?
yeah.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Hmm.
Okay, the minutes are approved, and we can get on with the applications. We'll start with the applications that have been continued and carried over from the previous meetings. And the first one on the agenda is 716 Orienta Avenue.
Good evening. Can you guys hear me?
You can?
Oh, there we go. Okay. Hi, it's Jim Olimpieri, Connet Solutions. Starting my video. There I am. Good to see you all again. We've come back with a revised design as per the suggestions of the previous architecture review board meeting for the solar array at 716 Orienta Avenue. I need to share my screen, don't I? There we go. Is my screen sharing now?
Yes.
Okay, great. So what we did is cleaned up any of the arrays on the front of the home, made them into, squares. We did, I think we repositioned this array. It was in portrait before. And we just made everything into landscape that faces the front. This array, we took out a panel. We cut one out from this array, and then we squared this one up a little bit better. We ended up moving a bunch of them to this back array, which just faces the backyard. These are just the details on each array. The front ones, this would be this dormer here. I think the next one's this front array encompasses these two and this smaller one over here, as well as this one with on the left, or I'm sorry, on the right side if you're looking at the front of the home.
Roof, just one thing about the layout drawing, roof 4/6 out layout doesn't show that there is a change in the pitch of the roof, right, between the lower 9 and the upper 8.
Yeah,
Right.
it's
It's
kind
like
of
Oh, I see, there it is.
yeah, you can't really see it. We're trying to abut them as close as we can there, but there is a change. It's just
But there
kind
is
of-
a pitch change, right?
yeah. It's
Yeah.
kind of just
Yeah,
covered. It's
I
this
understand, I
dotted line.
just, yeah.
I think it might be helpful, Jim, if you have a picture of the front of the house. if you were looking-
Oh, yeah.
Drawn with the panels?
I don't think I don't think they submitted a picture.
Oh,
with it,
yeah, I don't think we
Yeah.
submitted a rendering. I do have,
The pictures of the house.
Mhm.
I just downloaded them. Where did they go? Okay. So,
That's good.
front of the home.
Hmm.
So they'd be located over here. There's that small array of 2 over here, and then that array of 9 here. And then there'll be one.
Hmm.
See, I have,
I guess, well, I guess the biggest question I have, and probably that everybody might have, is why, I wonder why there are so many panels. Generally 2 to 3 times as many as other houses, even larger houses have. And, my thought is that either they're not very efficient panels, but that doesn't seem to be the case. They seem to be normal kind of efficiency, and
Mhm.
you're producing like 29 kilowatts of power. So it seems like 3 times as much power. So I guess, is he got keeps his thermostat to 45 and while charging his Tesla, and has a farm in the basement, or I don't know what's why so much power? Is this designed for like peak power instead of average power? Why 73 panels? I guess that's my question.
Mhm.
I can't speak to consumption behavior, but I can say that this is not covering 100% of their load annually. I'd have to look up the proposal. I believe it was somewhere around 80%, 80 to 90%. So it's close, but it's not
Of
completely.
peak power.
Are they harvesting Bitcoin or something?
Again, I'm not sure about behavioral.
You said this is
usage.
covering 90% of peak power, not so
No,
that means
annual consumption, annual energy consumption,
annual consumption. Okay.
not peak.
80% said.
Okay.
I'd have to look back at the proposal, but I believe it was in between 80 and 90%.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
So-
it just kind of
Close.
raises a question that if he's, if he needs 3 times as much power as everybody else, I mean, if somebody were to show, say, for example, have 10 cars, does that mean we would be okay with having, a 7-car garage on the front of the house and paving the whole front yard to accommodate them? Or is there a reasonable expectation that if you're going to need more than everybody else needs, that you should find some other way to accommodate it that's less visible? I don't know, I'm just throwing that out there as, kind of-
Yeah, I mean, the thing is though, that this board does not check to see what percent of every applicant's power needs are being met by the panels they're putting on the roof. They're often limited by how much roof they have. Right? So it's not like every other applicant is filling all their electric needs.
Well, but you can see that it's, I kind of looked at it. I mean, this is, I don't know, 29, 30 kilowatts, which is, a lot. It's like 3 times what's kind of normal. And there's certainly others, one even later today that could certainly put a much bigger house, could put a whole lot more on. So,
I
it
have a-
does kind of get to like my car question. I mean, you have to, how do we feel about these on the front of the roof? And
Mhm.
are we obliged to accommodate a dramatic use?
But to me, it's a little bit like the square footage issue, like if they're allowed to do it, they're allowed to do it. And if you were to drive, if I have a Leaf, if I was to drive that Leaf 200 miles a day, which it could do, it would require 62 watts for me to recharge it. So, I mean, when people have 2 Teslas in the house, this is how many power panels they need, plus running their house.
Well, those are kilowatt hours. This is kilowatts,
No, I understand, but I'm just saying is it does, it is a lot to charge 2 electric cars, which is where a lot of
Okay,
these
but
people are
yeah,
going.
again, it's 62 kilowatt hours, so that's
Okay,
4
anyway,
watts an hour.
Well, from an aesthetic point of view, I would like to weigh in. I wasn't here for the prior meeting. And when I saw the house, when I looked at it before, I could not believe how many panels, 72 or 3 panels. And my thought is it's in a very prominent location, right on the bike path in Orienta. People are always riding by and looking at it. Anyone who's riding by on Orienta Avenue is going to
Okay.
see it. And just frankly, they're not attractive. It's not an attractive
No.
look. And I wasn't here for the meeting when we went over it, but I would love it if the number of panels could be reduced. That's my opinion.
Mhm. Yeah, and I also add into that, I'm just what we're looking at, those 2 panels, they're isolated, floating. Those really, I think they look pretty disjointed. So I could live with the others. But those 2 to me, they look strange. Even, I'm looking at the facade, the elevation, and I know there's a break on the roof, and they look a little tiny thing there. To me, it's
Could you put the
bothered me.
picture back up again, please, Jim?
Of the homes, of the home.
Maybe you have one oblique. Oblique the other way.
the other side.
I think I gotta go this way to go.
Oh, uh-huh. Oh, okay. Yeah, that one.
There.
Yeah, there. Yes, now I understand why they don't line up either. But because the ridge is a different height. But yeah, those 2 panels bother me personally. I think they look pretty bad over there.
Gotta get back to the beginning. Yeah, I think there was a larger array over there that we cut down at the request of the board from last time. I believe it was 3 or 4.
Mhm. Yeah,
Larry, do you have any thoughts?
I agree with those, even though we've discussed this last time, and I must be fair to the homeowner and Con Ed, I do agree that those 2 are random,
Right.
the ones in the front of the house.
yeah,
Otherwise, things do hold together in where they're supposed to be, but those are just random ones now. And if it's possible to move that to the back somehow, it'd be appreciated.
Yeah. You know, and I guess if for me, I would kind of want to limit it just to the ones on the upper roof. Not the ones
Oh,
on the
yeah.
side.
me
Not the
too,
ones-
but,
all- There's just too
Yeah.
many.
uh-huh, right.
I think the house, excuse me, the house is designed in such a way that the schematic that's drawn now, it minus those 2, it does hold together as a design within the roof structure. All right, and it's hidden in enough ways that it will work to it.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's
Thank you.
see the picture again, please, Jim. Okay, so there's panels on the left upper part, and the lower ones you won't see so much.
Right,
Okay, on
Yeah.
the right, you've got above the dormers. And that's all right.
mhm,
Okay, then you got those 2 that you just 86th. And then there's those ones on the side. If you could do the oblique
yeah, on the side, yeah. if you
on the
keep-
right side.
This?
No, no,
Oh,
no.
you mean
No, no.
the front dormer? Oh, yeah.
There,
Yeah.
that one there,
Yes, over there,
which I
Mm.
guess is still in the high part at least.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
All right. Okay, I think we can see where they are anyway. Ones on the back are on the back.
mm,
All right. Anyway, I think everyone's comment, I don't know if anybody has any further comments, or should we see if there's anybody in the audience who has any comments?
Yes.
Barbara?
I'm checking, Bill, but there's a lot of people here.
Okay, no problem.
No hands raised.
Okay. So, let's see. What are we voting on? Are we voting on take it or leave it, or take it as Jim has now represented it with the 2 panels gone, or are they gone, or are they moved somewhere to the back, or I mean, what exactly is the proposal here?
I'd have to see. I mean, there's at least one spot here. So this could be, I'm not sure if there's space here, but it would be, we could move one of these back this way. I'd have to check spacing in CAD to see if there's any more available space.
Well, will that affect anyone's decision? In other words, like, if they remove them from the front, is anyone gonna have any problem with if he puts one in the back?
No,
no, if it fits.
No,
Yeah.
as long as it's one and one doesn't get left behind. They're going to
Right,
be
but I'm just saying is
completely gone.
we could make a motion to approve. What's that roof panel with, what's the number of that roof panel that just had the 2?
Mm-hmm.
It was
Uh,
6?
We're in
yeah,
six.
6.
6. So we could say that we approve it with the removal of the panels from panel 6, roof number 6,
Mhm,
and they can be moved to the back at the owner's discretion.
mhm.
Okay.
What do you think about that, Bill, as a statement?
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with that as a motion. I mean, I'm honestly a little bit still grappling with how I feel about having all this many on the front of such a prominent house to begin with.
Right.
But
Well, can I make that motion?
Yeah. Okay.
Am I allowed to make that motion?
yeah, you can make a motion. Sure.
Please do.
Yeah, I would make the motion that we approve this plan minus the 2 panels that are currently designed on layout roof number 6, and that the owner can move those panels to the back of the house, wherever they fit in, but not to any of the other roof panels in the front of the house. That's my motion.
Okay, anybody? second?
I second it.
Okay. Then let's see, Larry,
That was
Yes,
Larry. Oh, yes.
Yvonne,
I'm looking at the panels. I was wondering if, because anywhere in the back, it's also, I'm just wondering if there will be, I'm looking at the layout and, hold on. No, I didn't bring that. But in the back, in the central portion, right there, yep. Could you add more panels, maybe? Well,
I mean,
Yeah.
there is a space here, definitely for,
yeah, and that would square it up and it would look good.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if we start popping panels in any other place. To me, like the one on the right, the bottom, the 3 and the 4.
Yeah.
That one already bothers me still, but I know we said we could live with it. So that's my concern.
okay, well, right now, there's a motion on the floor, so you kind of have to vote. If you want to have that considered, you would first have to vote no for this, and if enough people vote no, then we could try something different, but
Right. No,
Sure.
I
Sure.
agree with the panels, but not randomly.
so are you voting no for this current proposal then?
Because I made it the owner's discretion. So if you want to tidy it up, you can vote no. People can vote no, and then we can tidy it up.
Well, I would like to, yeah, to work it out a little bit more. So I would vote no if,
Okay.
if it's just random.
And Cindy?
Well, I feel like I'm a no because there are just too many panels and because of the location of the home. Where it is, and I'm just not in favor. Sorry. Too many
Yeah.
panels.
I'm also a no. I'm probably the biggest no, but anyway, okay, so let's table that. That one is not passed, but we still have, I think Yvonne wants to propose a motion. To put the 2, you could move the 2 to the back, but to somewhere specific, I suppose. Or
Yeah, well-
have him come back and
Yes,
show us where he's putting them.
right. What I'm trying to avoid is that to start popping out panels on in any location.
All right,
So
well, let's-
I'm just trying to
All right,
maintain.
well, let's do this. Let's get why don't you come back in 2 weeks showing what you're going to put in the back? And if that's what you want to go with. For myself, I'm still not enthusiastic about this many on the front, to be honest with you. But right now, I think
Yeah,
we at the very least need to see where you're going to put them in the back.
well, okay, not to continue with, but the one on the gable, the front gable, and now those are 8, right? I know we wouldn't be that efficient or anything, that could possibly go into the back gable, the one that has 14 panels on the other side. I do understand the orientation. Just because this is so, you can see this roof from everywhere, I can tell you.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, bye.
Right.
every single day.
Well, and this is all assuming you even need 73. So-
Yeah, right. So what I'm saying, actually, that would be better because in that gable, the front gable, and you have them on one side. I mean, they could be relocated to the back. But that's, I'm just throwing that out. I don't know if
think-
it's possible, but
I think for cost's sake, I think if it was either back here or
Right.
eliminate, I think it would be eliminate. Because this is north facing. It's a super steep pitch over here, so it's not going to be, the juice wouldn't be worth the squeeze, so to
Right.
speak, to have
Right.
these four.
Yeah.
But if that's, that's a
So,
decision that needs to be made, we can discuss that with the customer.
great. So what I would make this recommendation to the board that if three of you are really disfavored of those panels on the dormer, that we say it now, because it doesn't make sense to me for them to go back, redesign it, to move a couple of panels to the back and then once again reject it because there's too many panels.
Agree with you. And I am not in favor of so many panels. So moving a couple of panels to the back probably won't change my mind.
Right, can you put up the picture again, please, Jim?
Sure.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll get the other view.
I don't love it, but I think without the ones on the side dormer, I probably could go with it because the ones on the flatter roof on the left are not very visible. The high ones, you can only see one side or the other. Not both at the same time. So, I'm not wild about it, but I would, Andrew raises a fair point. We don't need to have you come back and change it every single time. But you get
Right.
tired of it.
Mhm.
So, I guess my inclination would be that I'd probably somewhat reluctantly go along, but if removing those from the side door.
Chair, board, if it would assist, if reviewing this with the company for the amount of amps or watts that they're trying to pull from the solar system, if they need that many boards to run the system efficiently according to the home use, if you'd like the building department to review it to see where they are, if that helps you make a decision if those panels are necessary or unnecessary, or where they are. I mean, it's not aesthetics, it's more of the usage. So if you'd like, we can look at it back in the office and have that discussion.
Well, I assume he needs it for something, but it's, is that, the question is, if you're a power hog and you need a lot of panels, does that mean it's okay and you can put them up wherever you can put them up because you need them? I'm assuming he thinks he needs them because it costs money.
I appreciate your offer, Dennis.
Yes, so do I.
Good idea.
So I think from my understanding now where we are is that we have not supported the current plan. And the three board members would like the panels on the dormer to be removed. And if they're going to be relocated, they want to see where they're going to be relocated. Is that correct?
You mean the one?
Well, I think that I mean, I don't know that if Cindy is satisfied with that, for example, or not. I said, I think I'd be okay with it. Not my favorite, but I think I'd be okay with it. Just,
Well, the relocation will be to the back of the house, which would have no street presence.
well, I know, I'm just
Okay,
addressing your question. Is that what everybody said? And Cindy said she was not happy with as many panels on the front of the house. I don't know that she said that she would be satisfied with removing the ones from the side.
oh,
Well, I
I
think
see.
it won't, if you're all satisfied and I'm not, the vote is going to pass anyway, right?
Yeah.
So,
So, and I don't know that Yvonne has said either, but, so, there,
Oh,
but Larry, Andrew and I have said we'd be okay with it. And Yvonne, I guess, would be okay if she's comfortable with where they are in the back. So, I mean, there's a limited amount we can do without actually voting.
mhm. Will-
All right, anyway,
If we move the other two.
are you okay with this, Jim, that you go back to your client and see what you can do there?
Well, he's also working with Dennis, the building department, who reviewed as
Yeah.
well.
right.
Yeah, I can do both. To see what is it the movement of these is contingent upon maybe the usage versus consumption. I mean, I'm sorry, production versus consumption balance, or is that an independent discussion? Like, would these have to move despite their consumption? Because then it might be a moot point.
I would say probably, unless you, and I think what Dennis is offering is if you can demonstrate a compelling reason of why you need to have them, that is, we might be more sympathetic. For right now, it's a
Okay.
little hard to understand why this house needs so many more than other houses that are the same size or even bigger.
And it's such a visible,
And it's compounded by the fact it's a very visible location.
Right.
Also, Jim.
Okay.
I understand also it's like a 45-degree angle, so it's not pure north. Does it make a difference? You see, if you look at the north.
Up here, yeah, it's not
actually
directly
northeast.
north. But usually anything that's, if you cut this east-west right here, anything that's facing north, and it's, again, if it's a flatter roof, if it's a flatter roof, you have some play, but this is pretty steep, so. So yeah, the production is probably half or less of what it would be for those panels, which weighs into the cost savings consideration. But that's something that we can talk to the customer about.
Right.
Okay. And it does, I mean, there is some room, you could probably put more on the back if you had to, but again, it's sort of, if you're willing to talk to Dennis and, if we could better understand why you need so many, that might be helpful.
Sure.
Because it's a little hard to get behind, sacrificing what, it looks like to the community, for what looks like an energy hog, but if there's a compelling reason as to why he needs them, it's incorrect to be thinking that, that would be helpful.
Okay.
thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.
Okay.
Monroe.
And next up is then 541 Monroe, also continued on from the previous meeting.
There we are. Can everyone hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Mike Betcher, here for 541 Monroe. To reiterate from our last meeting, we are looking to do to replace the existing deck or the porch decking with 5/4 by 6 mahogany. The existing deck is actually falling apart. It was soft in many areas. The columns as well have also deteriorated. And we're replacing with everything in basically the exact same profile and style as to what was there. In the last meeting, everything seemed to be on the approval end for the railing and for the columns. There was a question with regards to the wrought iron railing that was going down the steps. So it was asked to provide a drawing of that. So I did provide a drawing as well as a picture of an example of what the wrought iron would look like as well in the proposal package. I'd love to be able to share that on my computer right now, but apparently I'm having some issue with this.
Okay, so let me try to share.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I just have to, I have a lot of things up here. Well, you know what, maybe I'll just go to you here. I'll just do it
Okay.
again.
Yeah, it tended to be Murphy's Law today.
Pirates Cove. I think it's all over here. Oh, look here. Sorry. This is it here, right?
Yes. So if we go down to the next page, there you go. Right there is the elevation of the what is proposed, which matches the existing porch. And it also on the bottom left shows the wrought iron railing, which wasn't in the drawings on the last time.
Right.
Very straightforward, very simplistic to basically match what was there. What was there really was just a piece of wood and a 4x4, which wasn't right for the project. Must have been done after at some point, you know, on their own. So the wrought iron railing, which also is repeated elsewhere in and around the neighborhood as well, which if we go to the pictures down below.
I think it's this, is it this one? No, sorry. I
No,
have every house up here.
Wrong house.
Yeah, let me just see if I can,
yeah, it was further down in that sheet.
or here, let
And
me just go to here.
that's the, yeah, if we go down to the bottom, there
Right,
we
it's
go.
gonna be like that.
Railing would look like.
So,
So,
yeah, one question I have, I guess.
Yes.
If I understand it correctly, the railings that go up to the porch on the steps here are going to be wrought iron painted white.
Yes,
And the ones that go around the porch are wood.
correct.
Yeah, okay. Just clarifying that.
Sure.
And you showed the detail of hooking, the wrought iron ones into the column is
Into-
as per the picture down
Yeah.
there,
Yes,
It's gonna be like that.
like that.
it would look like that. Yes.
Okay.
Fine.
No, just to clarify what we're looking
Yeah.
at.
Right
Okay.
now, a block of wood.
Right. Okay,
So
And
that
these
was,
are, these were the existing drawings right before demo.
yes, correct,
So it's gonna, the whole idea is gonna look like that.
correct. Yes.
Got it.
We wanted to keep consistent with what it looked like to pay homage to it, as well as just updating it. So it, taking out all of the rotted pieces.
Correct.
all right. Anybody else on the board have any questions or comments?
No, it's clear now.
Okay, anybody from the audience? Barbara?
No hands raised.
Okay, Dennis, you had a couple of questions last time. Do you have any questions at this point?
So the way the railings are laid on the steps, I don't have any questions with it, as long as, you have the 4 inches of blockage for, infant and toddler to fall off, but we'll pick all that up during the time of the inspections. But
Correct.
as for the aesthetics and everything, I think it's pretty wrapped up at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, all right, there's the motion to vote then.
I'll make a
I
motion.
motion.
Okay. Cindy's
Second.
to-
Barbara
And I second it.
Barbara can be the decide on the tiebreaker there.
Yeah.
And that's, okay, Cindy,
Yes.
Yvonne,
Yes,
Larry,
Yes,
Andrew,
Yes.
and I'm fine too. Okay,
Thank you.
very good, thank you.
Have a
Michael.
good,
You too.
thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Just trying to get rid of stuff. So if I have to go back to drawings.
You have maybe too much open at once there. It's a little hard to see what's what.
Okay. let me
Okay,
stop sharing. Okay.
Next up is 965 Mamaroneck Avenue. 195 Wine and Liquor.
Mhm.
I guess it's I-95 Wine and Liquor. Sorry.
Does
Who's
Miss
here for
Rafferty
the
want to leave?
liquor store?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Sorry.
Is anyone here for the sign for the liquor store? Raise your hand if you are. No one's raising a hand.
All right, well, let's hold off on that one. We'll check again at the end of the meeting, and if they have appeared, we can hear them then. Otherwise, defer till next time. And let's go on to 720 Walton then.
Okay, Danielle.
Hi,
Hello.
Hi,
trying to
Danielle.
share my screen, but oh, there I see. My architect's wife went into labor, so.
Oh.
he-
Architect went into labor. I hate when that happens.
A presentation to share, so let me see how I can do it.
Okay,
There it is. Oh. Uh-oh. I am screen sharing, but not the right. Oh, here it is. Can you see it? Is it working?
yes.
Okay. So we are proposing to make we have a 2-car garage right now, and we want to make it a 1-car garage because we're going to push in to make our kitchen wider. And so That's really it. And then the side door that's by the garage is gonna become a window.
Mhm.
I'm trying to look up, which plans do you wanna, what pictures do you wanna see instead of me just scrolling through?
Well, I think, why don't, since you've got the photographs up, let's just dwell on those for a second.
Sure.
So If I'm
Let me go to the front of the
recalling
house.
what you're going to do, you're going to change the front door. You're going to
We're gonna
change
change
that
the-
little
Mhm.
round window beside it.
Yes.
You're going to make the garage door narrower.
Mhm.
We'll look at the elevations in a moment, but I'm just trying to go through what we've got the picture here. And then on the side view of it, you're going to change the door on the side of the garage to a window, you said, over here?
Yeah,
And you're changing these windows up above too, I believe.
yeah, well, yes.
Yeah, and
Just
you're
to make it a
removing
little
this
bit wider.
door that currently goes into the kitchen.
Say that one more time.
I think you're removing also this,
We're removing the door
door.
into the kitchen because we're gonna make a door inside the garage so that it connects to the house. Yeah.
okay, so I just wanted to kind of go through where you had the
Yes.
pictures up. You can go
Yeah.
to the,
And
now
also
if you could go to
the
the
windows,
elevation.
the windows in the back of the house, aren't those changing as well to a door?
Mhm.
No, it is a sliding door already.
No.
Let me go to the back picture. There. So we're just enlarging the window on the right. That's a 2-panel. We're adding one more panel. And then the sliding door is staying as is. And the window to the left of it is going to be a little bit taller.
Okay.
And the window all the way to the left is remaining as is.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
and now if you could go to the elevation drawings, the facades.
Which is what the picture, you mean from, where do you mean?
The drawing.
The drawings, okay. Let's see. No, that's windows. Thank you for your patience with me. Why is it
If
not
you zoom
showing?
out a little, it might be. a little-
That's maybe what, oh, wait.
It has them pull the drawings themselves in.
Zooming out. The drawings are not showing up, but
Right.
it showed up when I looked at it on my computer 5 minutes ago.
How about, okay, once again, how about if I share my computer then?
I'm sorry, thank you for.
Okay, why don't you unshare?
They may be
Okay.
further down, as I recall, the samples were first, but I'm not sure.
Maybe if I go to edit mode instead of view mode. And then if not, I'll just stop sharing it.
What's the address again as I go to,
720 Walton.
oh, right.
Yeah, I don't know why. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
okay, no problem.
That's okay. We're,
My kids have been making fun of me all night because I asked them
you
to
do have
help
a
me.
pretty good excuse.
720 Walton here, right?
Mhm.
My
So we've
12-year-old
already
is
seen the
calling me
pictures, so
boomer.
we don't really need the pictures, correct?
Yep, I think this is the main
Okay.
thing. So this is existing, right?
So this is existing?
Yes,
Yeah. This-
That's proposed.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know, it's funny because I think we thought these weren't sliders.
oh, yeah, it's a triple slider that's
mhm.
broken.
And
So
I
this
think
this
there
is
was-
this is the proposed, because that's the smaller garage.
yeah,
Yes,
And there's a side light now next to the front door.
right.
now you also show a skylight, which is not shown on the elevations, correct?
Yeah, we would like a skylight right
Yeah.
above the sliding door.
Here,
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, right,
to just bring more light into the room.
yeah.
So this door became the window.
Mm-hmm.
This door got smaller with new siding to match.
Yes, we're gonna redo eventually. All of the siding is gonna be the
Okay.
same, but just fresh. It needs a freshening.
Mhm. This is a new
Oh.
door,
Yeah.
new window. One of those got widened or something. I guess that's maybe a new window. That's a new window.
Yeah, the one, we had a carbon monoxide issue, so the one on the second floor, the firemen broke it when they
Oh,
came to clear
about
out the
that.
house, so.
Okay.
does anyone need any more drawings for this?
No.
No, it looks pretty straightforward.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay.
Any neighbors or questions, like from the audience?
Jeanette offered to come, Cindy, but I said no.
No
Okay.
hands raised.
Well, I guess she's fine with it then, right?
Yeah, she said she liked it. I showed her it all.
Good.
Yeah,
Who's Jeanette?
our next door neighbor.
Oh.
She's
know.
89. She said, do you need me to come on the call? Cindy lives around the corner. Our dogs are.
Yeah. I
frenemies.
am around the corner, and so I don't know if you guys want me to recuse myself or not.
No, that's okay unless you have,
No.
a particular relationship. Okay. It's pretty straightforward. Looks nice to me. I don't know.
I move we pass as presented.
Okay, and seconds?
I second.
And okay, and Yvonne,
Yes, yes.
One second.
Andrew,
I support it, yes.
okay, Larry,
Yes,
Cindy,
Yes.
and I'm good as well. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
please congratulate your
Bye.
architect. Thank you.
I
Yes,
will, I
right.
will. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Bye.
Everything comes
Bye.
out well and
Okay.
it's exciting. Okay, 1354 Flagler.
Oh, yeah.
Good evening, Robert Keller, Keller Reedon Architects.
Mhm.
Builder.
Okay.
I'll pull up my drawing. Give me 1 second. Okay, let me know when you're able to see it.
Yes.
Should
We see it.
be there. Okay, this is a relatively small project on renovation to a first floor addition on a house on Flagler Drive, which has the approval of the neighborhood association. It essentially consists of expanding the dining room about 10 feet toward the front. Their family is expanding as their children get older and have children and so forth. So our clients, the Gurskys, wanted to have a larger dining room. And in doing so, also rebuilding the existing covered entry porch, which is not in good condition, and kind of try to tie it into the relationship of the extended dining room. So what we're really talking about is just this area here between two nodes of the building that pop forward. There's sort of one roof line that comes across to tie it together. There's a rebuilt entry portico, which is a somewhat simpler version of what's there now. A railing and some steps, all of which tie together, and the railings on the steps and the small amount of railing on the porch match. And then the wall with the window in the dining room has a couple of pilasters adjacent to the window, just to add a little detail and tie the roof lines into the entire little piece that's being added across. And there's a section there from the side that just shows where the position of the porch and the addition are in relationship to the rest of the house. And that's really the entire piece.
Okay, thank you.
I can go back to the plan.
Straightforward. Looks like it was always there. All right, anybody on the board have any questions or comments?
No.
No,
I do not.
Materials match existing?
Yes, all the materials actually exist.
yeah.
Comments from the audience? Barbara?
No hands raised.
Motion.
I motion.
Okay.
I second.
Okay. Cindy,
Yeah,
Larry,
bless you.
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
Yvonne,
Yes,
and I'm also good.
Thank you very much.
Very, very straightforward,
evening.
as you said.
yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
Did she eat? Thank you, honey.
okay. Next then would be 1 Pirates Cove.
Interesting, there's another project that's very similar to that.
Yeah.
In this session. I got confused which one was which.
Hi, good evening. I'm Frank Marcella from Marcella Architects, here for 1 Pirates Cove. And I will share my screen. Are you able to see the screen up?
Yes.
Yes.
So our project involves a small pool house in the rear of the property. There's currently an open permit and construction on a pool and a hot tub. And we'd like to build the small pool house and covered area on the existing footprint of the pool surround. I guess I'll just take you through the drawings. This is a little 3D image of the proposed pool house. Part of our proposal is to remove some of the bluestone that was originally proposed on the application and weave in some Brazilian walnut known as iPay. Sort of soften it up a little bit. We go to the site. I don't know if you're familiar with this application. So there was an existing pool here, and this rectangular pool is under construction currently. And this is where we'd like to place the pool house. And you can see where I've indicated these lines is where we'd like to substitute the masonry pavers for iPay, which is a wood product, as well as the staircase and this platform. Again, that was previously approved, but instead of using bluestone, we'd like to use iPay in here as well, just to sort of soften up and reduce the amount of masonry. This is the plan of the pool house. It's 11 by 22 is the enclosed structure. It's basically 1 room and a bathroom with 4-panel slider doors where the 2 center panels would open up. And you can see its adjacency to the pool, which is blue here. Structure sort of takes on somewhat of its own character with elements of the existing house, and I can show you the photos, but basically this is the pool facing elevation. You can see the sliding glass panels. We have sort of a tapering steel beam that would run across to hold the canopy with two steel columns framing the entrance. Structures proposed in vertical siding to match there are portions of the existing house that have this siding. Proposed in white, same trim as the existing house. The roofing is proposed in a metal standing seam. I can go through the images of the materials. Just a section. This is the portion of the elevated platform. Again, part of the previous application. We would just like to remove the bluestone, or actually not put it in. It hasn't been installed yet. And substitute that for a wood product, iPay, just to sort of soften that up a little bit. I could go through the material. Would you like me to go through the materials, or do you have any questions about?
I have a quick question. Since this must have been approved a while back, because I don't remember seeing it, but unless maybe it was the time I was absent. The kitchen was there though in the previous application?
No, I'm sorry. This kitchen is also proposed, which is going to sit inside this corner here. The grill, a sink, trash compartment, and an under-counter refrigerator.
I wouldn't mind looking at the finishes.
Okay. I think we provided this, but
Yeah,
so this is a photo of the actual house. So you can see the vertical 5-inch exposure cedar siding that we're going to match. The house actually has a few other siding types on it, but we sort of
You're
decided.
going to paint it white, it says there?
Yeah, that was the thought, to keep it sort of simple and white. Trim boards will be flat stock. We would use AZAC board to prevent.
I was just asking because the picture's kind of cedar colored.
Yeah, this is the existing house, which is a brown color. This is the flat trim. We would use AZAC around the windows just to prevent rot. This is an image of the iPay decking that we are proposing at the elevated deck and around the pool house. That's just an example of a window. And this is the metal standing seam that we're proposing on the structure and the covered area.
What are the
And this-
columns? I'm sorry, middle or
I'm sorry?
the columns, those two columns?
The two columns are proposed to be 6-inch diameter steel columns.
Yeah. Okay. And the countertop of the bar section by the other one, yeah.
Pool structure.
Uh-huh.
That was proposed in bluestone,
Okay.
which
no,
is what
okay.
which is what the remaining masonry, the coping around the pool and the surround.
Okay, same color, I mean, but just bluestone.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, we were looking at the Pennsylvania blue, so it's like a very consistent pale blue.
Okay. Right.
They do have the site photos. This is an image of the front of the house. This is the side from Orienta Avenue, the left side of the house. Picture of the rear, the right side. These are some of the neighbors. This is the right-hand side neighbor on Pirates Cove. This is the left-hand side neighbor on Orienta Avenue. You could barely see the house there. This is the neighbor directly across the street. This is also directly across the street. And this is also across the street. I do have oops, I have an image of the rear that I recently took, and you can see the pool's under construction.
Yeah.
For reference, I also have the plan that they're currently working with, and you can see these elements are permitted, and you can see where I'd like to remove the bluestone and basically set the small pool house right in this area that's currently impervious surface. It would sit right in this area here. Basically, the configuration of everything else is to remain.
If there's no change to the outside perimeter of the, whether it be paving or decking, but this-
There is a slight alteration on, I think it might be these curves in this corner here. And that will, yeah, I can go back to my plan. Oops. Yeah, this is smaller. This has been reduced, this edge. We added a little bit more in this corner here. That's pretty much it.
Can we see the rendering of the pool house again, please?
Sure.
Mhm. Mhm. It's very cute.
I can zoom in if that's helpful.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
Is the gray, the roof?
Yeah, that's
Silver.
silvery gray, and then the steel, I'd like to paint the same color and then leave the remaining trim and siding.
Yeah.
alike.
Okay. I know, I was wondering how, excuse me, it will work with the gray in the house. I know it's tile. The roof, in terms of color, is it similar?
How it will work with the colors of the house.
The roof, this roof, I'm sorry, I have a hoarse voice, so
No problem.
hard to communicate.
I think, Frank, she's asking how, if the gray that you're painting the columns and the silver color of the roof
Yeah,
is similar to the gray in the house.
Mhm.
yes,
I could go back to the.
I see you.
thank you, Bill.
I can see you're struggling with this.
Uh-huh.
Well, the existing roof is a slate gray timberline, so it's more similar to the actual roof on the house than actually the
Yeah.
siding.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
And then the deck on the new bathhouse, is it the color going to be similar to the siding? I'm
Um,
thinking of all the colors. you know.
It's pretty much going to be a little bit more natural tone like this.
Okay. Now, maybe I missed it, but is the deck on top of that stone?
No,
Or
so
you
in
can-
place of the stone,
Okay, you replace
we
it.
we were going to align.
Okay,
We're going to align it.
I like the way it looks. It's interesting.
mhm,
Thanks.
very modern.
Can you please share the existing elevations where the kitchen is going in the back?
The
You have-
existing,
Just the-
sure. I actually
In the
very,
existing or the previously approved?
right, so this was the set that was submitted for the pool. I actually had pulled the folder and I was able to find the rear elevation, the existing rear. So this is the existing rear elevation.
Mhm.
So where you're installing the kitchen right now, where are those windows? How far down do those windows go?
These windows here
And that's where the kitchen will be?
on the opposite wall, that's right. I think, let me see where that photo is there. So these windows are about,
Okay.
they were about 26 inches from the level of the patio.
So you don't need to alter the windows at all to install the
No.
kitchen?
No, not at all.
Okay,
It's opposite, sort of interior. So those windows are on this wall here. The doors are here. So
okay,
this is happening in here.
thank you.
One thing that's interesting while we're on this plan, where I think you're okay with it, but where we've run into issues with neighbors before, is this is a corner house. So you have the 8-foot rear setback, which as far as this neighbor is concerned, is a side yard setback. But fortunately, your neighbor is way back there somewhere. And the house across the street is similarly way, that across here is also way set back. So there's a lot of room around where you're doing it. You know, it gets dicey if this person had built himself up to the lot line. So I don't think it's an issue, because we've had that issue before with neighbors, though. On corner lots.
Right.
Is the countertop on the barbecue area matching the bar?
Yes, yeah, that will be masonry as well.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, are there any audience questions, Barbara?
No hands raised.
Mhm.
I have a question for Frank. This is Dennis, the
Yep.
assistant building inspector. Do you have the elevations on the pool house?
The
And what-
exterior elevations, yes.
Correct.
I could pull those up. Oops, but let me zoom out first. There they go. Oops, there they are.
Mhm.
Is there anything specific you had a question about?
No, I'm all good. It all answers for itself. I'm good with the height and so forth. It looks fine. Thanks.
Thank you.
I'd like to move that we accept the proposal.
I second.
Okay, Yvonne,
Yes,
Andrew,
I agree.
Larry,
Yes,
Cindy,
Yeah.
and I'm fine with it too. Okay, very,
Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
good evening.
You too.
Thanks. Take care.
All right. So that brings up 1069 Bay Head.
Good evening. My name is Eric Jacobson. I'm the architect for the Barnes family. And tonight I'll be assisted by Karen Young. So Barbara, if you could give her the ability to share, that'd be great.
Okay.
So a brief overview of the project is, and Karen, you can start by showing the existing front photographs. We have a mudroom that we're going to be remodeling and expanding 6 feet towards the front of the property with a small roof that we're going to be installing over that. And then we're going to replace the front portico over the front door. As you see, it's a flat roof. We're going to go with a pitched roof with a barrel vault, 2 square columns, and then we're going to put some railings on, which will be cable, stainless steel cable railings. So if we could start, Karen, with the plans, that would be great. So if we go to page 1, we'll see that we have the existing conditions there. Sorry for the orientation. There we go. So the mudroom area, which has cabinets, we're taking out those cabinets and we're going to be extending that front wall 6 feet towards the front of the house. And then again, the front door we're going to be replacing. We're going to take out the single door with 2 side lights and put a double door in. So yeah, if you go to the page 4, Karen, which you have there, turn that around. So here's the proposed construction. And as you see, we have a mudroom entrance off the front of the house coming into this mudroom area. There's a roofed area that we have coming out another 3 feet or so, 3 feet 6 inches, so you can be out of the weather as you enter that door. And again, we're replacing the front entry portico and front door. So I think at this point, Karen, you can go to the front elevation or the exterior elevations. So this is the existing front and side elevation. And we'll scroll down and here's our proposed. So the mudroom roof and the portico roof will both be a standing seam metal roof, kind of a silver grayish color. We do have samples of that we can show you shortly. But again, we're going with the square columns with a recessed panel. They are fiberglass. All the surfacing is going to be blue stone with stone risers and stone treads. And then the cable system, again, the railing system will be mahogany posts at the end, which will be anchored to the masonry. And then they'll have stainless steel cables. So Karen, maybe you can just take a look. There's our roofing color and materials. And then we have sample of the type of railing system. Again, stainless steel cable and mahogany posts. And then we have the doors that we're using for the mudroom. They're on the left. And then the double entry door will be at the front. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
The siding on that, on the extension, or is to match the rest of the house?
Yes. Mhm. Yes, we will be batching the rest of the house. Mhm. And they're cedar clapboards with 4.5 inch exposure.
Okay. Any other questions? No. All right,
So-
anybody from the audience, Barbara?
Now, one question, the columns at the portico, they are replaced by new ones, right?
Correct, yeah. 8-inch square with a recessed panel.
Square ones, okay, yeah.
Correct, yes. Mhm.
Oh, I guess I do have a question. Another question, which is, so how does the walk work with it? Because now there wasn't a walk up to that mudroom before, right, from there?
The new mudroom entrance?
Yeah,
Well, there actually is a walk going on the front, and Karen, maybe you can go to page 1, please, plot plan. And we do have an existing sidewalk. It's a stone walk set in concrete that goes to the front door. So that stays. And then off of that walkway, we're gonna have our steps come down
mhm,
and then connect in. We have like a little 2-foot section that we're gonna be extending to that existing walkway.
mhm. Sure.
Good question. Okay,
No public.
so nobody from the audience, you said, Barbara?
Correct.
And I
And
know,
I'm just curious also, is this the only standing seam on the house?
Yes, yeah. The rest of the house is conventional roof shingles, fiberglass, architectural style.
And there's 2 areas of standing seam now, right, over the mudroom and over the portico.
Right. Both
Yeah.
new roofs will be standing seam.
mhm.
Anything else? All right. Motion to vote on it then as posted.
Oh, then it's, okay.
Okay, second, please. Somebody?
I
Wait a
second.
Thank you, Cindy.
Muted, sorry.
All right, Larry,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yeah, I vote yay.
pardon me?
I vote yay.
Okay, Yvonne
Yes,
and Cindy,
Yes.
and I'm good too. Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You
Thanks.
too.
All right, 620 the Parkway.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Mark Fritz. I'm the architect for the project,
Mhm.
and I'm going to share my screen. All right, so the project essentially is creating an extension of the existing entry foyer. If you're looking at the plan on the left, top left, basically the entry is more or less flush at this point. You walk in and they have a small closet, living room, dining room, and then the stairs right there. It's approximately 4.5 feet to the stair. So it's a little crowded. So what the client asked me to do for them was to extend the foyer by pulling it out and then creating an overhang so that, because they don't have an overhang currently from inclement weather. This sort of shows you what the design intent is for it, which is essentially using a standing seam roof in a gray slate color. The existing house has a timberline roof on it, architectural shingle. The intent is to go with a Anderson black finished window with board and batten siding, square columns at the entry, bluestone at the porch, and basically wrap the bottom with matching stone to match the house.
Mhm.
So this is essentially front elevation, basically showing the entry door with side lights. Here you see basically the side, which has the board and batten, the stone at the base, and the window and the standing seam roof. And then this is just basically interior sections and details to show the interior height as we push it up. And then basically section through it here as you walk in to the space, pulling the ceiling up into a tray so we can drop a light into it, and basically paneling through here. The house basically is this house right here. That's the next door neighbor. There's the front of the house. That we have a slight cantilevered second floor. At this point, the house has the black shingles, shutters. And basically, this is where the new portico is going to go.
Yeah. What color is it going to be? White, or is it matching the house, or not?
Yeah, it's going to be basically this. The board and batten will match the color of the house. Their intent is they're going to be replacing their windows in the future, and they sort of want to go with black on the windows in the future.
I was going to ask about that because the black window
was
on
too.
the new portico, and then you have white windows here, other than the black shutters. I mean, I feel like they're gonna have to change them to black.
No, yeah, that's their intent. You know, that
Okay.
we've had this discussion because there's a couple other projects in the future that we're going to be doing on the house, and they felt this is as good as any point to start with it.
Mhm. I like the way it looks. I mean, in a way, I like your garage is extending out, so having
Yes.
that room extend out also would be okay. I think it has a continuity because of that.
Mhm.
There's no changes to the garage at this point?
No,
Okay.
No.
Because it looks
just
sort of-
highlighted in the.
Looks sort of crosshatched on the plan there, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah. And the standing seam metal roof, is it, what color is it going to be? Gray?
It's going to be a gray, a dark gray to match the timberline roof in terms of the color.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Okay.
Can you show the elevation again,
Sure.
or that rendering? I have a question. The columns are supporting the. There's nothing tying across the front of. I
It's
don't
the
really
beam's
understand.
concealed. Yeah, the beam is actually concealed in, I mean, this is the rendering.
Oh, I see.
That was one of the first things that I did. You can actually see we're basically the.
I see. So,
Right.
okay.
Right, there, you know, it does have a carrying beam that's running out on both ends, which you can see here in the section.
Right. But that soffit comes down to where the columns are.
And that's, yeah, and yeah.
With the
this
two
piece-
vertical battens there, that's where the columns are.
Right.
And the rest of the open portion is in front of the columns. I guess when I looked at the rendering, I couldn't figure out where the,
I started with the rendering and then went to the drawings.
no, I see. Okay. So there is a drop ceiling between the column and where the doors are in the
Mhm,
front wall.
correct.
And the open area is in front of the columns.
Wait a minute, I mean, it's fine either way, but I thought there was a light hanging there. Is that inside?
Yeah, both areas actually raise up. and
Oh,
you
I
can
see. It just has like a,
It's just a
Yeah.
protective from the weather, and
Got
then
it.
the light is housed behind it.
I see. And it ties the roof together there.
Correct.
Yeah,
See here?
got it. I see. I understand now. Okay, that was a little confusing to me
Mhm.
where that was, because it seemed like there was a lot of open area without a tie.
Yeah,
You
I
were
didn't-
confusing me too.
Yeah.
I didn't think
Okay.
there was a drop ceiling. So,
Well, I thought because that thing was down, maybe it was drop ceiling and the light was on the inside, but now I understand. Okay, I got it.
The
okay.
interior dropped for the tray.
Yeah.
There's
I
another
understand.
light on the interior.
Yeah, I understand now. Yep.
Okay. Anybody from the audience, Barbara?
No hands raised.
Okay. And okay, so I guess we can call for a motion. Vote.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, and Larry seconded it.
Yes,
Yvonne,
Yes,
Cindy,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
and Larry,
yes.
and I'm also vote yes. Okay, very good.
All right,
Thank
thank you, everyone. Have a good evening.
thank
You
you.
too, thank you. Okay, and then Foreshore Road. Beginning and ending here with the solar panels, unless the sign person showed up.
Hopefully we'll go back and see the I-95 one
Yeah.
and look.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi.
Yeah.
I'm trying to turn on my camera here. Okay, a little close in there. How are you?
Very close to your face, yes.
I know. There you go, make it a little more comfortable. Okay, I am proposing, I am the solar design consultant for Foreshore Road. This is a new construction that is nearing completion. And we are proposing 25 solar panels here at this location. So can I share my screen?
Yes.
Do I need to do something? I'm sorry if I'm not doing this correctly.
I can share
Yeah.
mine. I'm
Okay.
sharing mine.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you,
Okay.
Andy.
Thank you, sir.
This is it, right? Foreshore Road?
Yes, it is.
Think we know this.
I
house,
just
right?
I just figured out how actually to do it. I hadn't got my screen for it up. So if you want to, yeah, that's fine. I would take any one of these, page 2, 3, or 4. Really gives you a good illustration of what we're doing and where we're placing the panels. This orientation is south through a little southeast, or the southwest and west southwest. That is all facing out into the bay.
Mhm.
None of the panels are on the front of the house,
Mhm.
and none of them can be seen from a road or from any neighbor.
Mhm.
We are, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I was just looking at
Yeah.
where that was on the, because we've done some other work with the house next door.
Okay. There was a filing done back in, this is before I believe I was on the project,
when this house was being constructed, a roof plan that did show the solar panels. So you may have seen some layout very like this towards the start of the project. And that was in July of 2019. And I can show you that plan if you do want to. I didn't know, I didn't have it at the time, but I can show you that plan now if you wish.
I'm just running here just so, okay, so that's that. Does the
Yeah.
board want to see any more about these views?
I'm gonna, is the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 just relate to the circuit they're on?
Correct, but I would like to make a point on that. We're running all of the wiring and conduit work is all running underneath and into the attic. So all of that has been done. None of it can be seen, looking up at the array as such, at the array, the 4 different arrays. We're using a black on black matte black panel, LG. So aesthetically, it's a good looking panel. And we're proposed a clamping system. Yeah, Thursday. Thank you very much. So you see, going from left to right, you're going through east, all south oriented, but somewhat southwest. These are all just during construction, so I don't know how helpful that will be. But I do have some photos of the finished house if you want to sort of get a sense of what those look like.
I'm just looking to see what else was here that you submitted. Okay. So
Yeah,
that's,
that's
I
really
have everything that you submitted up. If you want to
Okay.
share something, go ahead.
Okay.
I just unshared.
All right. Yeah. So this was what was originally filed back in July of 2019. And it does show, if you can see my mouse, the 4 different arrays across the roof here.
Yep.
Notice it's only 25, not 73.
I was going to ask about the power and its comparison to the house's consumption.
Yes. So at 25 panels, 385 watt panels, obviously being new construction, we really don't know what their consumption is going to be, but it is obviously a pretty large home. We would expect it's probably only going to cover, I'd like to say hopefully half, but I would not see it being much more than that of their total annual consumption.
Yeah, I doubt it'll be more than half.
It's about a test. This is as I recall, like a 10 kilowatt.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Compared to the other, which was a 30 kilowatt system, which is what you're getting at.
Right, but
the other was 3 times as much power for house a third the size.
I don't know if the other house was a third the size, but that's a different house. Okay.
And I'll say as well, just from I presume this is probably one of the more important factors from an aesthetic point of view, our clamping system we're using, it's called a camo clamp, and it catches the panel from the underside of the panel rather than having clamps on the ends of the arrays. So it looks very clean in terms of its aesthetic on each one of the panels. You could almost think, and also because it's a black on black, you could almost think of it as being looking a bit like a skylight or such, something like that.
What color is the roof?
It's a, I'll go into my, can you see my screen here?
Same
We're still
thing you
seeing
have
the
had
roof
up,
now.
yeah.
Same
Yeah.
picture before.
Oh, okay.
You probably have to exit that.
Oh, yes, okay. I'll show you the, yeah, 1 second. I'll show you just the front of the house here as such. The, how do I do this? New share. So it's a
Light color.
it's a light grayish aesthetic shingle.
I'll shade that.
Is there anything else I can show you?
No.
Yeah. I'm just showing you here the LG neon black on black panel. So it's a pretty dark, black
Mhm.
frame, black back sheet, and so on. And yeah, unless you have any other questions, that's about it, I would say.
No, I mean, the layout is fine.
Yeah.
And
Mary,
I'd like to propose that we accept.
we have to see about the audience first.
Yeah.
Are there any people in the audience, Barbara?
No,
Are there any dolphins or
I was gonna
whales?
say,
or-
anybody on a boat?
Very cute.
And
Mm.
to my joke. Okay,
the layout is nice.
okay,
clean.
go ahead, Larry.
I'd like to propose that we accept as presented.
Okay, second.
I second.
Okay, Andrew.
Yeah, I vote yes.
Okay, Cindy,
Yes.
Yvonne,
Yes,
Larry,
Yes.
and I also. Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
bye.
Okay, as Barbara is the applicant for 716, I'm sorry, for
965.
965 Mamaroneck Avenue here.
is anyone here for the sign for the liquor store?
They have a sign up.
Yeah, they do.
Going
Maybe
once,
they're probably waiting outside the court room, waiting, wonder where everybody is.
There's two people in the audience. Neither one of them is raising their hand. I know
Oh.
one of them is definitely not for this sign. I don't know who the other one is.
Okay, well, we can, I guess there's too much we can do.
we're finished. Now,
it's
other
for-
than that,
For the FER 965 Mamaroneck Avenue till such time as they appear. And motion to adjourn someone?
I motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay, any opposed?
No.
Okay, we can hereby adjourn the motion meeting then. And everybody just stick on a minute.
Mhm.
Next meeting then.